So when you think of the boundaries you put on your life, okay, and the ones you put on yourself, as far as thinking traps, and just downward spirals, man. What are you refraining from? What are you refraining from when you think about putting boundaries on your life?
What's up, family? This is the Get Your Time Back series with Gerrion Grim. So turn your headphones up and let's get the studio some loving.
You are refraining from your potential. So I learned a long time ago, don't put boundaries on yourself because you won't ever get to your goals. You know, like the words I don't use. I don't tell myself I can't. That got out of my vocabulary a long time ago. Probably about, I never thought I couldn't do anything. It was just a matter of if I wanted to do something, or if I need to do something, it's getting done. I had a coach in pro ball that told me, he said, when you create a need for something, that's when you become successful. When you want to do something, it never gets done. It's a dream. When you need to do something, it becomes a reality. Right? So when you're putting limitations, what you should put limitations on is, a diet, how you eat, spending, budgeting. But in terms of your potential and your mastery areas, leave them wide open and search on how to do them. The thing that I don't like are the people that believe that you need to be a one-trick pony.
One-trick pony. Master one thing in life.
Mm-mm.
Master one thing in life.
Mm-mm. I don't believe in that. Because it takes about 10,000 hours to master something.
10,000 hours to master something. They tell you to be, they tell you to master one thing, okay? And then I find it that when people do say, when they are trying to master one thing and just throw their eggs in one basket, the word or the excuse, I don't have time, comes out.
We all got 168 in a week. We've already broken it down for you. But when I say put all your eggs in your one basket, you should. But I'm going to break it down on how you should do it. You should do it in you. If your eggs are all in one basket into you, right, and the people that surround you, then you're going to get distracted. And then that's when you get excuses. So I'll use an example for myself. I can only teach off my experiences. So I remember growing up, and I have very, very intellectual aunts, right? And I have an aunt that's a professor, at a big university, and she would always make me try to plan. She still work with her to this day. She makes me try to plan ahead, and I was so stubborn in what I wanted to do. When I was younger, they tried to get me to think about, maybe being a doctor, lawyer. They just try to fill me out. What do you want to do when baseball's not there? I said, I'm going to do baseball forever. And then they would, I would want to go outside. They would make me read books. So I'll tell a story. There was one time we were playing it was like this tic-tac-toe, but the word was must, right? And I didn't want to read. So my little slick self, she goes, put it in a sentence. I go, you are very musty. And that's when she goes, go outside, leave me alone. She knew right then and there I was smart and I was going to be okay. I was just being stubborn about what I wanted to do. I no longer wanted to talk. I got to the point where I was a 9-year-old insulting her, learning how to flip words. She knew from then on I was going to be smart enough to do whatever I wanted to do. Because I was going to be able to, I could flip a word to make somebody mad, because they were making me mad. So she was like, well, if you have the key with that, you're going to know how words work. Go outside. You know? So, like, for me, the reason why I used to love going outside and why I see not happening with a lot of these kids is when you're inside, you get thrown into a box and you're always caged up, right? And you get institutionalized in the wrong way, right? With all these walls of limitations. So you do the same thing in your head. Me, I grew up thinking that I could be anything that I wanted to be. If I wanted to be a doctor, my parents were going to support it. I wanted to be a ball player, my parents supported it. You know, so if you're a parent watching this, support the big dreams. Just get educated on how to help your kids. Stop telling your kids no when it comes to their dreams. You know, like the one thing that I really preach to my niece about reaching her potential is this. I say, she'll come to me, I want to do professional softballs, professional basketball. I say, okay, here's the work ethic, here's the blueprint. This is how I did it. How dope is that to be able to tell one close family member, here is the blueprint on how to do it, flat out. If you fall, and then once you get the blueprint, whatever you put into it makes it yours. You know, everyone needs a blueprint. That's why I think Jay-Z's records are sick. He's talking about being the man in the room, and he's giving you the blueprint. Right? Does it multiple times. But when you go through that and you start looking at that stuff, you can't be Jay-Z. Only Jay-Z can be Jay-Z. There's only one Sean Carter. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be Jay-Z, but I'm going to listen to his story and how he reached his potential, and then I'm going to take a little bit of that blueprint and I'm going to put into it, and then it becomes Gerrion. You know, and that's why I do a lot of blueprinting, bro. You know, everything I do is 5-10 years thought out in advance. I don't care if I do something right now. It's not about making money right now. The money that I'm making is about the time that I did 5-6 years ago. I'm trying to set myself up for the future, but I have to work now to do that. You know, so that's, I think our last episode we talked about I work in the present, future, and the past, right? Because I understand the history of where things came from. I work now, right, towards where I want to get to, and I set up the future. You're going to struggle. Anything that you do right now, you're going to struggle, but if you put it into a good light, right, you're going to be okay.
Feel free to check us out at our new website, www.investments.com. We are also on every social media site at Investments. Thank you for taking the time to invest in yourself, and we'll see you next time.